All right, let's get right to it. I'm on page 321 at the top, going over some more examples here. So solve the equation n plus 35 equals 80. So we have to get the n by itself. We always want to get the variable, the letter by itself. So to do that, we have to do the opposite of plus 35. And remember, the opposite of plus is minus. The opposite of division is multiplication. So in this case, plus 35, the opposite would be minus 35. That would cancel out those 35, but if we take away 35 from this side of the equal sign, we also have to take away 35 from this side. So to find out n, we have to do 80 minus 35. And we get 45. So we used the subtraction property of equality to solve that one. Okay, solve the equation, then check the solution. Okay, so again, we always want to get the variable by itself. So 16, is this a positive 16 or a negative 16? Well, if it doesn't have a negative sign in front, that means it's positive. So the opposite of a positive 16 would be a negative 16. That cancels that 16 out. But if I take away 16 from the left side of the equal sign, I have to take away 16 from the right side as well. So you'll notice now we have just x on this side because we got rid of the 16, equals, and then to find out what it equals, I have to do 42 minus 16. So 26, and then it says check the solution. So then I plug it in. 16 plus 26 does in fact equal 42, so this checks out. Okay, let's look at number 3. Again, I want to get the variable by itself over here. I want just y by itself. I have a plus 6.2, so I need the opposite of that, minus 6.2. That will get rid of the 6.2. And what I do to one side of the equal sign, I have to do to the other. So I take away 6.2 on this side. So 9.1 minus 6.2. Well, my decimals are lined up. Do the subtraction. Y now equals 2.9. And then I check it. I plug it in. 2.9 for y plus 6.2, what I started with, does in fact equal 9.1. So this checks out. Okay, on to number 4. Same thing, I want to get the m by itself. So I have a positive 3/10, so I do the opposite of addition, which is subtraction. That will cancel that out, subtract it all away. But if I subtract it away from the left side, I have to also subtract it away from the right side. So now I need to do that math. 7/10 minus 3/10. Denominator stays the same. 7 minus 3 is 4. So now I'm left with 4/10 on the other side. So m equals 4/10. Now I plug it in to check. So up here where I see my m, I'm going to rewrite the equation with my 4/10 in its place. Plus 3/10. Does that equal 7/10? Yeah. Denominator stays the same. 4 plus 3 is 7. Okay, let's go on to number 5. Again, I want the variable by itself. So I want just a z on the left side, and in this case, I want a number on the right side. So letter by itself. So I have a negative or a minus 1/3, so I want to do the opposite, which would be plus 1/3, same number. That, since it's the opposite, it cancels it out. We get rid of that, leaving just our z. And then on the other side though, what I do to one side of the equal sign, I have to do to the other. So I plussed 1/3 over here, so I have to plus 1/3 over here. Okay, so now I have 1 2/3 plus 1/3. That'll give me 3/3 and then 1, and 3/3 is equivalent to 1, so that's like having 1 plus 1, which is 2. So z equals 2, and then I just plug it in to check. 2 minus 1/3 does in fact equal 1 2/3, so this checks out. Okay. Let's do number 6. Now this kind of confused a few students yesterday. It doesn't matter which side the variable is on. It doesn't matter which side the letter is on. Your goal is to always get the letter by itself. So in this case, here's our equal sign. The letter happens to be on the right side, but that's all right. We still want it by itself. So to get rid of this minus 24, we have to do the opposite. The opposite of subtraction is addition, and we add the same number. So minus 24 plus 24, that gets rid of the 24, leaving us with just x on this side. And then since I added 24 on the right side, I have to add 24 on the left side. Okay, 12 plus 24 is 36. So 36 equals x, or we could write it as x equals 36. Either way, those mean the same thing. So we now check our equation. So we rewrite the original equation, but instead of x, I'm going to put a 36. So the original equation said 12 equals 36, because instead of x, I'm going to put 36 minus, and then 24. And is 36 take away 24 12? Yes, it is. So this checks out. Okay, I want you to try 7 on your own. Again, if you have any questions, this is now the time to raise your hand, ask. If you want to try to solve it on your own, you can maybe rewind the video a little bit and just double check how we're solving each one of these problems. We're doing the same steps each time. Okay, the opposite of subtraction would be addition. So we're going to be adding 14.9 to both sides. Okay. All right, thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.